not really in the mood to make like actual food. You know, like egg whites and spinach and tomatoes and, you know, that kind of thing, like an actual like mega healthy start your day breakfast. And I realized that I'm just simply not eating enough food. I felt that I eat pretty often throughout the day, but I need to increase my portion sizing. The thing with increasing my portion sizing, I'm always really afraid to do that because, you know, in the past 2 to 3 years, I've been focusing so much on bringing my portion sizes down. So one of the issues I had like growing up as a child was, you know, my parents always supplied me with, you know, healthy food. There was always healthy, good food in the kitchen. I was just never taught how much food you need to eat. I was so focused on the fact that, you know, the food might have been healthy quality, or, you know, I didn't really, of course, understand like how it was cooked via fats or, you know, seasoning, whatever the case. For example, one of my favorite meals is green beans, and I always felt that they were like the healthiest thing ever, and like every time, you know, my mom would cook me green beans, I'd be like, yeah, you know, I'm eating healthy food. Later on, what I went to realize was it's cooked in, you know, 5 tablespoons of butter and half a pound of bacon. So that, of course, didn't help the fact that, you know, I could eat probably something along what would be considered 6 serving sizes. So understanding portion sizing is a huge step in the right direction. Something I do with that, I do weigh out most of my meals. Measuring cups, food scale, just the size of your plate and bowl too are really important. What I find is if I'm eating, you know, what's gonna make me full on like a medium plate instead of like an extra large plate, and just like eating smaller portions on a large plate tricks myself into believing I'm not eating enough food. So when I have, you know, let's say a medium-sized plate and I have, you know, it heaped on there, I feel like I'm eating enough food even though it's the same exact amount of food. So something I mentioned on my blog a few weeks ago was I had pasta, and I had a serving and a half of pasta in one bowl, and I put it on a plate. And then on the plate, it just looked so much smaller. Like, I myself, even before eating it, my eyes were like, hey, let's add an extra serving on there. And I like kind of thought to myself like, wow, like this is actually a lot of pasta. It's gonna make me full. I don't know why I'm, you know, so worried about, you know, what my eyes are telling me or what my mind's telling me, when I should be more focused on how full I actually am. So I ended up putting it in a bowl instead of on a plate, put the pasta on top of it, ate it. I was full, I was happy, I was content. I was even just kind of like not too full, but I was like, okay, like I don't need another bite. Like I am sure I am full. I have accepted the fact that I'm full. And it's just so insane how you don't really think of things like that. Like your plate, your size of your plate, and I guess it's like a science. I've read a few articles, even the color of your plate, or like the color of fast food restaurants. If you go in there and it's like a more relaxed feel, you're more inclined to eat more food. Same thing with like the color blue, I guess, is supposed to, like, you don't eat as much when your bowl or plate is blue. Something, you know, your mind tricks you. I don't know. I'll find an article on that and I'll link it down below, but I just thought that was fascinating that your brain can actually like orchestrate what you need to eat before you've even eaten it. Like sometimes I feel I go to eat a meal and I'm like, I'm not going to be full. And before I'm even eating, even I've put the first bite in my mouth, I have decided I'm not going to be full at what food I have, you know, provided myself on my plate. And in reality, like, I could be getting smaller portions, eating it, and going back for seconds, if anything. Like, if I'm still full, like, the food's not going anywhere. For some reason, I've always felt like the food was going somewhere. I don't know why. I was raised as a single child, So I was never like, you know, fighting brothers and sisters over snacks or something like that. Like, that was never an issue for me. It was always just like, I ate really fast, I ate a lot of food, I ate multiple portions, I ate, you know, seconds and thirds and things like that. And just like, my brain is telling me I'm hungry, but like, my stomach, you can even visibly see, like, it's bloated and I'm so full, like, how am I taking another bite? So that's just something that's really fascinating to me, that it's really changing the way that I eat lately. Is I've kind of gone back to that routine of taking a moment before I eat and going, okay, what is it you're eating on your plate? Is that the right portion size? What, you know, what are your thoughts before you even sit down and eat? Are you thinking you're going to be hungry because that's yourself tricking you? Like, you're not hungry. But, and then I get to a point where I stress myself out so much about portion sizing that I'm like tired and sick, and I'm like unmotivated to work out, and I'm unmotivated to eat, and I'm unmotivated to meal prep and put food in my fridge that's healthy. Like, I'd rather just go to the market and buy you know, pack of brownies or something. And really, all of this energy I'm putting into stressing myself out could be utilized into something like more productive. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just some thoughts I've been having this morning while eating my food, because I kind of use like a medium-sized plate, and I'm like, oh, this looks like a lot of food, but in reality it's just, you know, 2 eggs and a piece of toast. I'll probably do a video in the future just showing like portion sizes via plates, and like even just looking at it without, I'm sure like it's the same thing on camera. Is that something you guys do too? Do you tell yourself you are not going to be full enough with the amount you have before you taken a bite of it, or like, you know, consumed any of it, and you've just like convinced yourself? Tell me what you guys think about that.